How's it going, everyone? Session here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail, continuing the MSQ where we left off. The Moblin settlement of Erlingshire is not far from here, but be warned, the road we'll be taking is a favorite hunting ground for bandits. With the stairs currently impassable, there will be fewer travelers, meaning the brigands will be desperate for victims to ambush. Although considering present company, I suppose my concern is unwarranted. Bandits on the road? What have Zaraja and the Landsguard been doing? Seems it's up to me to restore order to the area. And off she goes again. For now. We'll head west and aim for the bank of the second river. On we go. That thing's called a Widowmaker? That's scary. Okay. Okay. I love this area so much. It's so pretty. Again and again, I am struck by the majesty of the falls. It is difficult to comprehend the sheer volume of water this natural wonder produces. I felt eyes on it several times when we made our way here, though they soon seemed to lose interest. Oh, I see. This is the river which feeds the waterfalls above Arkanu. Bandits' lairs tend to be somewhere near here, but I prefer we avoid seeking out trouble. Well, where are these bandits? Apparently they're not foolish enough to attack a party of this size. Erlingshire is just a little farther ahead, on the opposite bank of Miyakabekzoma. Let's remain vigilant all the same. The wildlife is very colorful in nature. Whoa. This area is a sight. Huh. So this is Erlingshire. Even as Hunter culture is distinct from the Vanu, Moblin society has developed quite differently to that of their goblin cousins. Goodness me, it's like the entire village is made of pottery. Not other planet in sight. Does that mean we're ahead or behind? This is it. The village where the lay of pots from the Tural Saga took place. Earthenshire, Idleshire. Might the similarity be a cultural inclination? I wonder. The settlements themselves couldn't be more different though. This shire appears custom built to resemble pots, while the other is a repurposed town. Welcome to Earthenshire. You are the pleasure of happy greeting the Third Promise and her return. That's us. We're looking for the Dawn Servant Elector, if you happen to know who that is. You are exchanging tongue flaps with her right now. Readerrock is the Elector you seek. Oh, that's helpful. We can cut straight to performing the feat. As much as Readerrock would like to do just that, we have a much more pressing worry. The storm which hit our village shattered the cliffs and dropped rocks in our brain cases. Many help hands for the Potsworn were injured. This is no time for feats or metal tests. I'm sorry to hear that. After learning what the storm did to the stairs, I feared you'd been caught up in its path. Not to change the subject, but what are the Potsworn? Goldsmiths contracted to work for the Moblins. The word comes from the pot-like workshops where they practice their craft. The Moblins provide these Potsworn with tools, materials, living quarters, everything the artisans could possibly need. This allows them to concentrate on producing what is widely known as the finest gold and metalwork in Tural. This is unacceptable. I was promised no distractions. If this is the best they can offer, I should have never left Wachimeki. You see, the pots won't desert us. Without enough healthy help hands, we are failing to uphold our side of the pot pact. Should all our Potsworn leave, Earthenshire will grind to a halt. We have to do something, and do it soon. Then let us stand in for the injured helpers. It would give me the chance to learn more about your people and your village. And if it brings us closer to beginning the feat, then all the better. This isn't strictly part of the contest, so don't feel obligated to join in. Take a rest while you can. Of course I'll help. I was hoping you'd say that. I actually wasn't sure I could do this on my own. We'll all help. I doubt any of us could just sit around and watch. We'll take every help hand we can get. Readerrock truth swears that once the Potsworn have their perfect workshops again, we will commence the feat with all haste. You and the Third Promise can assist help hand Ragnarok. You other four, follow Readerrock. There are other help hands in need of hand lending. I really appreciate you pitching in. I meant what I said at many fires. There'll be no more feigning strength, no more playing at being an invincible promise. If there's one thing I've learned on this journey, it's how practiced you are at aiding those in need. And I mean to make the most of having such an incredible mentor at my side. Now, let's find this Ragnarok fellow and see what we can do for him. Let's grab this real quick. I think I found our help hand. First we'll solve this problem for the Moblins, then we'll see about completing their feat. Ragnarok can't meet his obligations without more help hands. The pot pack is broken and the pots are emptying. We're here to give you assistance. Any way you can. You come to aid Rakarok? Rakarok accepts your hand lending with joyous field smiles. If we can offer the Potsworn their promised good living, we might save the day yet. Whatever you need. What Rakarok needs is for new help hands to create good living for Potsworn Kahi. The help hand assigned to Kahi was hurt during the rock rain, so Rakarok took over, but he knows nothing of Kahi. What does Kahi want? What does Kahi need? Help hands do not bother the Potsworn with straight tasks. Our job is to observe and anticipate to prepare things with guess think. Please guess think with Rakarok. Find out what Kahi is lacking so we can provide it. You can count on us. This is where Kahi works, is it? Let's take a peek inside then. That must be Kahi. It'd be a lot quicker if we can just talk to him, but that's not the way they do things around here apparently. We'll have to let him be, and try our hand at some guess think. Okay. Well, he has no shortage of crafting materials. There must be something else he's missing. He's barely touched his meal. That dish is meant to be eaten hot, or it loses its savor. He must be boiling sitting so close to the furnace, and there's no airflow to speak of. How could anyone work in that stifling heat? Those tools are looking pretty worn down. Maybe it's time for some new ones. Alright, after taking a good look, I think I have an idea of what things Kahi might want to improve his working conditions. Let's head back outside and talk to Rakarok. You made your observations? What did you guys think? First off, I noticed Kahi hasn't touched his food, and an empty belly can't be good for his concentration. Maybe the cooking isn't to his liking. But our food is very mouth-pleasing. Why wouldn't he want to eat it? Ugh, but Rakarok is sure of nothing when it comes to Kahi's tastes. I can help you with that. My brother Koana is also a Hitsaro, and while everyone has their personal preferences, there are some they tend to share. Like an aversion to piping hot dishes. If it was brought to him like that, Kahi probably wouldn't have been able to eat it until it cooled down, and by the time he came back to it, he might have found it cold and unappetizing. The simplest solution is to serve dishes that taste good no matter the temperature. Rakarok would have never thought of that. Would the third promise mind explaining these things to our cook? Not at all, but I don't think that was the only reason Kahi couldn't concentrate. The Hitsara homeland is hot and dry, but even Kahi seemed to be suffering in front of that furnace. Is there any way you can cool down the workshop? Oh, we could try a drafty shard. That'd make a lovely breeze. Do you know where we can get one of those? You can gather them from the shoals of no return. There are many old boats there, abandoned by those who gave up on their search for the Golden City. So, we salvage them from the wrecks. Could you handle that for us, Del? Thank you. Oh, and one more thing. From what I could tell, Kahi's files and saws and things were very worn down. Maybe a new set of tools is in order? Ah, Rakarok was too preoccupied with stocking materials, a serious oversight which he will rectify. Supplying good tools for good living is a help hand's responsibility. Then we will have all the work to do. We can meet back here when our tasks are done. The shoals in the return are past the crags, through a tunnel southeast of here. You should be able to spot the passage just outside the village. Alright, we're on the way. You're Adele, aren't you? What brings you out here? Ah, the issue with caring for the Potsworn. When they approached me with that same problem, I suggested they commission artisans in Charlie instead. The quality of craftsmanship would be guaranteed after all. However, the Moblins do not care for the idea. Surely it would be more effective to engage a uniformly trained collective. I cannot understand their fixation on individual contracts. Perhaps a custom will make more sense once we begin the feat of pots. Until then, we've been deemed unfit to assist in the matter of help hands, and are instead tasked with tending the uninjured. We were on our way back from procuring herbs for Oriange, in fact. Settlements in Kozamauka, too, have been isolated by the storm's destruction. What would have become of the wounded had we not found a way here? Should I become Dawn Servant, one of my first acts would be to establish reliable trade routes to the capital. When I imagine how much good we can achieve with Charlian technology. My apologies. I have much to consider. If you will excuse us. We'll meet again soon, sure. Take care, Adele. See you around. You spot the tunnel opening. Enter the passage to the shoals of no return and recover the drafty shard. Off we go. Ooh, I see the wreckage. It might be wise to just quickly grab this. This crystalline shard is faintly worn to the touch. It does not appear to be the living crystal you seek. crystal feels damp in your hand. This crystalline shard emanates a soothing whisper of wind. It seems you found the crystal of Ragnarok that needs a college. Alright. This area is so awesome. Is that a cool breeze Ragnarok feels? There you go. Yes. Thank you for finding a drafty shard. Ragnarok will add it to the new set of tools he bought. And I come bearing good food tidings. The cook has prepared a feast fit for the most discerning Hitsaro, and it's on its way even as we speak. Let's go in and see what Kahi thinks of our efforts. I was wondering what occasion called for me to receive so many visitors. A fine meal, new tools, and a welcome source of cool air. Now I remember why I signed a pot pack. I'm grateful for your kind considerations. Allow me a moment or two, and I'll reciprocate with a piece of worthy or potsworn. Oil lamps brighten the halls of Valakshinsa. The craftsmanship satisfies Earthenshire's reputation for quality, I trust. Such luster, such brilliance. Truly a gift fit for the Dawn Servant. I'm glad you like it. Considering the time I've wasted till now, I hope to continue crafting at this improved pace. I have a contract to fulfill after all. Forgive my interruption. Lamasi, I am told the Elector has deemed the crisis past and is prepared to task us with defeat. That's great news. Thank you for letting me know. So, this is the craft of a potsworn. It is indeed a masterful piece. Thank you for your words of praise, Second Promise. I drew inspiration from Kozamuka's natural beauty and sought to capture it in my work. I wondered why the Moblins did not simply build a workshop in the city, and now I have my answer. Even Charlene goldsmiths could not easily replicate such exquisite artistry. One cannot create great things if one lacks creative impetus. Tuliolo, fortunately, does not want for inspiration. Anyone wishing to learn the basics of a craft would do well to study it there. I was raised among Hitsaro more traditional than most, and the shared ingenuity of Tural's various peoples was eye-opening. You lived as a traditional Hitsaro. I have few fond memories of nomadic life. Would that I forget that time? Interesting. I tried serving a sweet prepare for Kahi. It was so good, I had a second helping. Rakrok is very grateful to you. I thank you for both your hard work and clever guessing. When it comes to hand helping, knowing the pot's worn really is important. Well, that's true for pretty much everyone you meet. It's a lesson I've had drummed into me several times already on this journey. The elected busy claimants assemble in a large building on the west side of the village. I will head over after finding Thancred and Oriange. I also ran into the Levier twins on the way here. I took the liberty of directing them to the venue. We're rivals. It's not his job to make sure I know the feat is starting, but even now, he's conscientious to a fault. Anyway, let's not keep Reader waiting. Bye, friend. I thought everyone would be here by now. Readerrock thanks you for assisting Helphand Rakarok. She will announce the feat once other claimants arrive, so please be patient a little while longer. I'm happy to report that we were able to convince one of the Potsworns to stay. How did you fare? You did the same thing with the Goldsmith. So you managed to do the same. Splendid. Welcome to Earthenshire, First Promise. We support your plans for soft crossing and the infinite torn they will bring. Hail the mighty Zeralja! He cleared many piles of rockfall as if they were pebble stones. The resilient sun for Dawn Servant. Zeralja was clearing fallen rocks? I'm surprised he would volunteer his time for anything unrelated to the contest. Well, well, we meet again. Just in time for the feat to begin. I'll bet he was already here laying low while the rest of us did all the work. Claimants, your attention please. As Readerrock has explained, many of our Potsworn left us following the storm. The precious metalwork crafted by those artisans bring in much jingly shine from across the salt. Should our stream of trade goods dry up, Earthenshire will suffer. Tuliolo merchants will suffer. So, Readerrock sets you this feat. Each of you are to find one clever hand goldsmith to bring back here to us. So where to recruit new Potsworn? Makes sense with the feat of pots. Calling this a feat does not justify taking advantage of the claimants and their influence. How does finding workers for you demonstrate their worthiness for the throne? You are free to refuse Readerrock's request. She will be happy to inform the Dawn Servant of Zeralja's disqualification. The right is a means to an end. The steps we take to get there are not important. Then Readerrock declares the feat of pots begun. But remember, a pot pack must be agreed to willingly. No grab snatching or deceitful tongue flaps. The elector said nothing of taking a willing artisan from a rival, which is exactly what we should do. A fine suggestion, brother. I'm glad you think so, brother. Come, let us lay our plans. That nasty brute is up to something. Aye, he may seek to delay us again as he did on the river. We can but remain vigilant while we plot our course. What do you think, Lamont? Have you any candidates in mind to satisfy this feat? I know of some artisans amongst my supporters, but they're all in their twilight years. I couldn't ask them to give up the comforts of Tural to live in this remote village, no matter how beautiful the scenery. Meanwhile, Koana probably has 100 young craftspeople to choose from. Not that I'm comparing us, you understand. That's just a statement of fact. I suppose we could try asking around Wachumeki Meki. That seems a logical place to start. Back to Tural it is. Wait, does that mean we have to take the boat again? No, no, I can't do it. I can't stomach another boat ride. You said I should share my burden, so I will speak plainly. The truth is, I get really, really sick on boats. We kinda knew this. Well, Lamont, this is hardly news. But it was brave of you to admit. In any case, we won't be fighting the current this time. Heading downriver will be much smoother. It will. Are you sure? I'm positive. Mostly. What obstacle will Cool-Judge throw at us next? Or will he try something more direct? Wilkoma suffers such terrible bout of seasickness. I wish I had a potion that could ease her nausea. Did we mention that Potsworn in our care required a constant stream of encouragement in order to craft? The four of us must have a chance to cheer dozens, if not hundreds of times. Erinville was scolded more than once for not cheering loudly enough. I prepared many unusual items for clients, but meeting the personalized needs of a Potsworn is not an experience I care to repeat. Ugh, I need a moment. Upriver or downriver? Iyukatamu is too rough for me. The nausea is a bit more bearable now that I've stopped trying to hide it, but I'd still rather not set foot on a boat if I can help it. Alright, I think I'm ready. Let's see if Master Rupley can help us recruit a Potsworn. Greetings, Third Promise. What brings you back to Wachumeki Meki? You've not chipped your axe again, have you? No, Master Ripley. Actually, I have a favor to ask. We're doing the feat of pots. So what do you think? Do you know of any craftsmen who might be interested? Filching my arson for the Malbans, eh? Well, seeing as it's the third promise making the request, I'm willing to look the other way if one of them decides to take you up on their offer. Only I can't think of a suitable candidate off the top of my head. Who do I know with a mastery of goldsmithing that would also have no qualms with relocating to Earthenshire? What of the Elsman who started working with you? You mean Franson Jane? He did say he was employed at some fancy jewelry store across the salt. And considering the distance he's already come, I'd like to think he wouldn't mind moving a little up the river. That said, he's only just got himself a new job. Is it too soon to ask him to sign a pot pact? There's no harm in making the offer. Once he hears how well the Potsworn are treated, he may even jump at the chance. Either way, you won't find Fontaine at his workbench at this hour. He's finished for the day, probably enjoying a meal over at Zibelv Tire. Then maybe we should go and talk to him. Just you and me, since he knows us. Wouldn't want to feel intimidated by having to deal with a crowd of new faces. The two of us can handle this. Take a rest of the cabins if you like. Right, let's go and see a man about the pot. I could never get tired of this song. Ugh, I'm still not sure about this. Oh, Del, you're here too. The her promised us she wanted to chat. I just finished eating, so shall we find a quiet spot outside? The last time we talked on this beach, you were in a miserable state. I was, wasn't I? A lost soul. Until the two of you came along and helped me rediscover my purpose. My new place of employment has been most welcoming, and for the first time in a long time, I feel content with my lot in life. That's wonderful. So, what is it you wish to discuss? Well, it's hard to ask this right after you settled in, but I'm looking for someone to become a potsworn. Ah, I've heard my new colleagues mention the term. That's when an artisan signs a contract to work for the Moblins, isn't it? But you're not a Moblin. I'm not sure I understand. It's for a feat in the right of succession. I need to bring a new potsworn to Earthenshire. So that is the way of it. We barely met, and after pushing you to work at Wachimeki, I'm now demanding you to throw that away and send a pot pack instead. It's a selfish request, I know. I have to tell you the promise. The other day, I completed the necessary procedures for immigration. I'm pleased to say I am now an official subject of Tiliolo. I've since endeavored to learn what I can of my new nation, beginning with the right of succession and its claimants, including you, of course. Now, you will recall it was my father's example which led me to pursue goldsmithing. He was at East End when Garlean forces laid siege to the settlement, and in ensuing chaos he was slain. War took him from me in an instant, the man I loved and admired. I never wish to suffer such a loss again. And so, as much as I'm indebted to you for turning my life around, it is as a fellow peace-loving Toliolian that I want you to win the throne. If I can help you achieve that by sending a pot pack, then I shall gladly do so. Fontaine, thank you. I shall return to Master Ropley and inform him of my decision. Allow me. I'm the reason you're leaving, so I should be the one to deliver the news. Berkevru. Perhaps you remember me. Berkevru, Ono Zabaltayev? I'd like a word, if you don't mind. You're Ruklamat's ally from across the salt, right? And a hero of some renown too? If the gossips to be believed. Well, as it so happens, I could use some heroic help. It doesn't need to be right now, but could you come by when you have a spare moment? Much appreciated. I'll be waiting for you at my shop then. It feels ungrateful to leave so soon after Master Roper granted me employment, but surely you can understand. I do this for the future of Toliolo. Master Ropley, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but Fontaine has agreed to send the pot pact, yes? While it is a shame to lose a capable goldsmith, to have one of our own hand-picked to serve the third promise is a great honor of watching Meki. I appreciate your understanding. Of course, if you happen to know any other talented artisans, regardless of their expertise, I hope you send them my way. It could even be yourself, if you're so inclined. I'll keep that in mind. Though my time here was brief, I will not forget your kindness, Master Ropley. I am blessed to have these workshops be my first home until Diolo. Come back to us if the Malbins cut you loose. You'll always have a job at Watchu Meki. I expect you'll want to leave for Erlenshire as soon as possible. I'll go and pack my things. What became of Fontaine? Were you able to find him? We did, and he's agreed to become his potsworn. We'll leave when he's ready, but you still have a little time. Splendid. We shall meet you anon. I had plenty of reasons to win the contest, but now I have one more. Fontaine's putting his faith in me, and I won't let him down. Ah, deliveries. Cool. My father first. Right then, I have some things to take care of at that palace. While you can pass the time however you like, I suggest you head back to the cabins. After all, even here is to rest, and we still have a big journey ahead of us. Welcome back, madam. You've had a Landsguard messenger most anxiously waiting for your return. The Delaware promised an entourage? I've been all over the city looking for you. The Dawn servant summoned you to the palace. You are to present yourself to the gate guard stationed outside Sunport at your earliest convenience. Oh, and one more thing. You are not to mention this visit to Ukumat. Wait, what? Why? Well, that's concerning. Why wouldn't we do that? She's doing fine as far as the succession goes. Oh no. The Dawn servant awaits you within. While I was not informed of the reason for your audience, in terms of attire, I would suggest full battle regalia.
Forgive me these sudden summons. When I learned my daughter's champion was back in the city, I couldn't resist the opportunity. And they call me head of resolve for good reason. Old as I am, I have not lost a battle worthy of the name since the day I took the throne. And I've been craving a proper challenge. The lance wielder, Sessiion, he fought well enough, but our bout was ended before a victor could be decided. Judging by the sailors' gossip, you are a warrior of renown in your homeland. Yet I wonder, with all your deeds done and victories won, are you warrior enough to stand against me?
Why don't we find out?
A spirited answer. Why not indeed? The battle rages upon me. I'll stop short of killing you, of course, but expect no other mercies. Go! Ready your arms, and show me the truth of the tales. Give it your all! I want to fight to remember! this. The spearman did not lie. Very well. Resolve the missing kingdom. All right. That will do. You've shown me more than enough. I brought my full strength to bear against opponents before, but you are the first to withstand it. Even with my head of reason asleep, I never expected you to give me so much trouble. Sessiion did not exaggerate. You are a force to be reckoned with. Ha 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 ha! Now, a confession. I said I'd crave a challenge, and that was no lie. But I had another reason for calling you here. I had to judge for myself if you were fit to attend my beloved daughter. In some respects, she is much like me. Hard-headed and prone to rush into danger. But one with your adamant defense could shield Lamati from those who would do her harm. Will you hear my question and answer me plainly? Address me not as the ruler of Tural, but a concerned father. Thank you. Then tell me, given your journey together thus far, what is your impression of Lamati? Whether it be as their promise or just a companion on the road. Speak your mind.
She is young but has potential.
Ha! A tactful response, but agreed. She is not ready for the throne. Not yet. Lamati thinks she understands our many peoples. Their histories, their cultures, their beliefs. But she knows only what she's seen in the capital. And it's not only her who concerns me. Even this early in the contest, you must have realized. As potential rulers, all four claimants are lacking. This is why I elected to hold the right of succession. Not to choose a fitting candidate, but to cultivate one. And if no one has impressed me by the end of it, then to no one will I yield my throne. As a parent, I pray that my children rise to the occasion. With outsiders dragged into my game, I am also hopeful that the different perspectives you and your companions have to offer will inspire them to grow. I imagine you in particular have traveled many lands, know many peoples and cultures, loved them and been loved in turn. Guide Lamati as you think best. Walk at her side and, when needed, push her to walk ahead.
There I was, about to sit down for some of Namika's cooking, when I heard that Papa had sent for you. You were dueling behind my back, weren't you?
I see there is no point in denying it. You needn't worry, daughter. I took care not to inflict lasting injuries. You and your ally may return to the contest without disadvantage. No harm done.
I swear, just as I was learning newfound respect for my father. Let's take our leave of this battle-mad oaf before he calls on the rest of my entourage.
Watch over her, champion. Kona's recruits are no less sharp, as one might expect of Galof's countrymen. They saw the flaws in our claimants from the outset. The other two, though, they dismiss comrades willing to point out their shortcomings, and no good can come of it.
If he had his way, Papa would keep doing it until the day he dies. Even now, I know of only 3 people who didn't need to be carried away after their bouts. Zeralja, your lance-wielding Frenestinian, and yourself. You really do live up to your fearsome reputation. I'm curious though, did Papa want anything else of you? A small favor, nothing more. Well, if that's all it was... I still haven't had one bite of Namika's food thanks to Papa's nonsense, so I'm going back to finish my plate before I head out. I've otherwise asked everyone to meet at the forward cabins. Come and join us after you had a moment to recover, yeah? Sorry to keep everyone waiting. Is that it? You're all set to go? I left the earlier prepared to travel in search of work, so I had few belongings to begin with. Bidding farewell to my fellow artisans took rather a lot of time, however. Again, I appreciate you making this commitment, Fontaine. Shall we depart for Earthenshire then? A word before you go. Wukevu, what are you doing here? I spent my days correcting manners, and here I am pertaining to the grave offense of delaying the Third Promise's departure. Please, take up your axe and rend my flesh into taco meat. Must your demands be so gruesome? Besides, I told you that kind of thing doesn't bother me. Alright then, I won't let it bother me either. What was that all about? I'd come to the city to purchase supplies when I spotted your entourage getting ready to leave. You seek the city of gold, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. It's the final step of the rite of succession. If you know anything about the subject, I'd love to hear it. Then allow me to be of service. As you know, legends of the Golden City have been passed down in Tural for 1,000 years. Yet, when it comes to describing the place itself, the stories do not always agree. Some portray it as one might expect, a glittering metropolis of golden towers. Others suggest it is a more unassuming and owes the name to a fabulous treasure hidden at its heart. Every telling, however, has a common thread. Those who go in search of the city do not return. The lesson to be learned from this, third promise, is that you seek the legend is to court death. I must implore you to proceed with the utmost care. That is all I wish to say. I shall pray for your safe journey. Thank you, Wukevu. What are we to make of these cautionary tales? If every expedition has ended in tragedy, how then did the Dawntrail find the city and return without incident? It seems the legend originated with the Yakhoi. Speaking with them remains our strongest lead, I feel. A lead we shall follow in time, but first, let us see Fontaine safely into Malpin's care. Meanwhile, Kozama and Suraja.
Finding a willing artisan was even easier than expected. Many indeed are eager to curry favor with the Sessiion sun, especially if it means sharing the promise of new territories.
Those who prove useful will have all the land they desire.
Such generous words, yet the manner in which he speaks them. If neither wealth nor territory are of value, wherefore does he seek to bring the world to heel?
Step aside. Remind me. There was no rule against poaching craftsmen from other claimants. Was there?
Do not be foolish, Bakujaja.
Foolish would be carrying on with these dull feats when all I need to win are the keystones. And besides, it's long past time I humble this arrogant one-head. The Dawntrail may have sired you against all odds, but there is nothing blessed about your birth. Only a two-head is fit to rule. Only we are worthy. Draw your weapon! Face me in battle, and learn your place.
A moment, first promise. Leave him alive, if you would. I foresee a use for this nuisance.
Too scared to make the first move? Then allow me!
just a runt. My thanks for your restraint.
I can kill him whenever I please.
Your part in this is far from over.
We're back, and we brought with us a willing Pottsworn. This is Fontaine, a talented goldsmith who once worked at Esthame's Aesthetics in Ul'dah. Wonderful, impressive. You are the first to return, Third Promise. And with an artisan from across the salt, no less, we welcome you and your unique skills to Earthenshire. Helphand will show you to the workpot. This is it then. I look forward to hearing you proclaimed Dawn Servant. Thank you, Fontaine. I'll be sure not to disappoint you. You have met the requirements of the Feat of Pots. Readerrock presents your keystone with joy smiles and well-wishing. That makes 3. More Pottsworn candidates? Come, tell Redirect your tales. Another thing accomplished. Another keystone acquired. Ho ho ho. You are doing well. I expected nothing less from Zeralja's esteemed siblings. Your cleverness in particular is most admirable, Second Promise. We must have you apply that Charlian knowledge you so cherish, and arm Tural with weapons of magic design. In your role as the new Dawn Servant's chief advisor, of course. The tools of war hold no interest for me. I wish only to improve our nation through practical innovations. Foreign powers will think twice about testing our strength when Tural is known for its advanced technology, just as the Garlean Empire was deterred from invading Charlian. Well, that may be true, but how long will it take Tural to progress to this advanced state? How many years? With a collective commitment to education and hard work, it should not take so very... Your way is too slow. Easier to expand our territory and swallow Charlian whole. Conquer other nations through a force of arms, and you're looking at a future of uprisings and bloodshed. Yours wouldn't be the first failed empire. Then we keep fighting until the mounting costs convince them to lay down their weapons, until all have grown tired of loss. How would such an outcome bring anyone joy? What you propose is a mockery of peace. Redirect is reminded of days long ago. In the time before Tuliolo, there were no pot packs for the potsworn. It was normal to grab snatch artisans and force them to work for mobbies. Until the day Golul Jaja arrived, the families of the grab snatch pleaded with him, and so he came to Earthenshire. Mobbies are not a warm like people. We feared death had come for us, but Golul Jaja just wanted to talk. Be at ease. We are here to trade words, not blows. The gold work crafted in this village is superb. One can tell at a glance the quality of materials used, the mastery of technique employed. Yet it does not stir the heart. A goblet shaped by bound hands and broken spirit is devoid of luster. Compare that now to the works of a joyful artisan. She pours her very soul into creations, and they shine like the newly rising sun. Have you not seen this to be true? And so began the custom of good living. Many potsworn make good works, and good works make mobbies happy. Golul Jaja's words were wise. Joy smiles did indeed bring fine craft and much jingly shine. So, the head of reason was behind the forging of pot packs. Yes, reason and clever think change mobbies' way of life. The first promise tires of your talk of olden days. He would rather look to the future and the next feat. We should be getting on as well. But Golul Jaja never did come back, did he? Do you have a moment to promise? Rakarok will repay you for helping with Kahi. He brings a tale of the Golden City. What? Really? I'd love to hear it. The towers, the streets, all fashioned from gold. Everywhere you look, every splendor you can imagine. The young, the old, and everyone in between, they live in golden happiness. A city of eternal bliss, forever perched above the clouds. Everything fashioned from gold, eh? And just imagine everyone living in golden happiness. Now that's a city I'd like to visit. Excuse me, Ragnarok, where did you hear that particular tale? From our longtime Yakui friends. They live up in the mountains in Urkopacha. The giants again. Seems everything is pointing us their way. This feat and everything leading up to it has taught me much about the Moblin way of life. I'll be sad to leave Earthenshire and your joy smiles behind. Right, we should go and see the giants next. Agreed. Golden mysteries notwithstanding, their village is featured prominently in the saga and is not to be ignored. The Urkopacha Highlands should be easy enough to reach from here. If we leave Earthenshire from the west, there is a road which leads up to the mountains. Let's find that first. We're to meet with the Yakhoi at last. This road will take us through the mountains to the Urquapacha Highlands. An exhausting road, perhaps, but a straightforward one. One day we're sailing up the rivers, and next we're hiking up mountains. The Highlands are where the Lay of Proof took place, that being Galua Jaja's encounter with the Yakhoi. But it is also the stage for the Lay of Ice, where heroes fought the monstrous Valley Garmanda. I am most curious to know what the rite will demand us there. Looks like that trail is going to get steep from here on in. I hope everyone's ready for some climbing. Third promise. I'm glad I caught you. Rita Rock asked me to bring you back to the village. She says there's something she forgot to give you. Huh? Something other than the keystone? Yes, an item of great importance, or so I was told. It shouldn't take long. If you would please follow me. I wonder what this is all about. Well, no need for everyone to come. I'll be back in a little while. That man seemed familiar somehow, but I just can't place him. I'm eager to continue to the Highlands to meet a Yakhoi face to face. We've heard much about them, but I'm not entirely sure what to expect. He had rather interesting hair for here, or should I say a Tanawata? In any case, strange I never noticed him while we were in Erdenshire. Knowing Wiklamat, she's probably just eating sweets behind our backs and forgot to pay the shopkeeper something equally careless. He is familiar, but I don't know why. Was he on a boat? This is taking quite a while. Just keep waiting for now, I suppose. I feel like he might have been on a ship. Perhaps there were complications? Well, let us wait a little while longer. This is getting a little ridiculous. Did she get lost on the way back to find us? But how? There's only one road. I wouldn't underestimate Wiklamat's sense of direction, or lack thereof. Fortunately, she has a link pearl. Let's see what's keeping her, shall we? She's not responding. Perhaps we should all return to Erdenshire. 'Twas Riderok who had business with her, yes? I'm trying to think, is what through our journey throughout Kozamuka or Urquapacha. Where would we have seen that guy? Was he at the back of the ship? I don't believe so. But now I actually don't know. I thought Wiklamat was just being her usual impulsive self, but now I'm not so certain. She doesn't seem to be here. Something's not right. I can feel it. I pray not untoward has befallen through promise. Back again so soon? We've come looking for the Wiklamat. Did you not send someone to fetch her? Redirect did not. Neither has she seen the third promise since you were last here. Then who was that man who came for her? Oh, I thought you'd left already. Where is Lamachi? Is she not with you? A man told us to come back and had requested by Rock, but she's not here. You don't know where she is? How could you let this happen? That thou shouldst worry for thy sister is understandable, yet rather than assign blame, thine energies are better spent on locating her. I will help you search. This is not how I'd wish a fellow claimant to lose the contest, my sister least of all. In that case, dividing our forces will allow us to cover more ground. Zell and I should work together at least. It's better to facilitate communication between our groups. Agreed. And the rest of us will split up. Report in should you find anything. We'll be on our way as well. Right. Keep in touch. Come. We should begin our search. If Lamachi was returning to Earthenshire from the west, then she should have passed through here, except Reebrock swears she didn't see her. In which case, 'tis entirely impossible that Lamachi never made it back to the village at all. The only way to be certain is to ask the sentry stationed at the opposite entrance. It's unsure to be aware of who could have caused it, actually. If the guard didn't see Lamachi, then we can be fairly sure she's not in Earthenshire. The third promise? Mobby has been standing at his post with diligent eye watchings. He has seen no claimants pass this way. What of a Tonawanta with brightly colored hair? Mobby knows something with this one. He hears tongue flops about a Pelu peddler in many fires who was attacked by a crazy-haired bandit on the road. A bandit, you say? Thank you. You've been the most helpful. My sister is clearly not here, though I wish it were otherwise. We must consider the possibility that the Tonawatan messenger and the brigand described by the sentry are one and the same, and that Lamachi is in very real danger. Come, let us hurry to many fires. I'd like a word with this peddler should they still be around. We did technically enter that shipwreck area to find the crystals to help out, but also, why would the... I'm not too sure what the bandits would want with her, if anything. Also, random side point, they bring up a good point. If the Golden City was never found by people who seeked it out, and the only person to do it was the current Dawn Servant, how did they actually do that? That doesn't seem like an easy thing to accomplish. My concern is the idea that it's actually like a... Maybe if Dawn Servant did make it, if Galul actually did get there, maybe there's a reason why. Granted, the whole objective is to find the Golden City, like the part of the quest line for the saga, but I wouldn't really suspect Galul to hide anything from us. It doesn't seem that way to me. But I don't actually know. Like, finding it would be good, but there seems to be an issue with finding it too, because, again, like, how did Galul actually find it and then make a return? And doesn't tell that story to anybody. We haven't heard that story since we've been on the journey. This is the merchant who ran afoul of the bandit. Was there something I could help you with? I'm told you were the victim of a bandit attack. Could you recount exactly what happened? My goodness, I thought I recognized you. I'll tell you everything I remember, second promise. It was that scoundrel Wakesa who ambushed me. You know the name of your attacker? There's no mistaking that hair. All my peddler friends have stories of that notorious bandit leader and his predations. Wakesa and his gang will stoop to any low for the sake of a few pel, and with no fresh quarry coming up the broken stairs, they've had to become more creative. Little wonder he went after Lamachi. He likely thinks to ransom her for a royal sum. I expect he'll soon make his demands, but I don't intend to wait. We'll find this villain first and deliver his preserved payment in person. What say you to a small deception? I will assume the role of a well-to-do merchant to lure Wakesa out of hiding. Then, when he comes sniffing about, we'll catch the rat by the tail. That sounds like a good idea. An excellent plan. I have just the right garments for your disguise, at a specially discounted price, of course. A brush with bandits hasn't dampened your merchant spirit, I see. Very well, I accept your generous deal. Ooh. Now we lay the bait. I will precede you into many fires to make my presence known. You follow on behind, boasting to those along the way how you paid me a hefty purse in exchange for one rare gemstone or some such. If Wakesa is as coin-hungry as they say, then a recently enriched peddler should be an irresistible mark. We let him strike, and then we spring our trap. Time to play our parts. There, that Zibro fellow. Share with him how happy your imaginary deal with me has made you. Once you put on an appropriate display, we can continue to our next performance. A rare gemstone from that Hisaro merchant, you say? I envy the profit he must have made from such a sale. Since the stairs were destroyed, I've not been able to peddle goods at my usual haunts. A good start, but I would make certain Wakesa is aware of me. Let's continue. That moblin over there looks amenable to conversation. The stage is yours, Adele. The Hisaro sold you a sparkle stone for your collection? Well, that explains your giant joy smiles. Mobby is happy for your happiness. Mobby is also jealous of the merchant and all the jiggly shine he must have made. That should be enough, but perhaps one last act to drive it home. Do you see that cheerful fellow? Tell him the tale of your precious gemstone, and then we'll be done with this part of the charade. A passing peddler had the very gemstone you saw for your collection? That's a stroke of luck. And I'll wager the merchant was just as pleased to fill his pockets with your grateful coin, eh? Well, I'm inspired to go and earn some pel of my own. Who knows? Maybe opportunity will find me, even as it found you. Ah, my most valued customer. The profit from that single purchase of yours should see me through weeks of idle leisure. Traveling with such a fat purse and no sellswords is tempting fate, so I shall make Earthenshire my last stop and then return forthwith to Tuliolo. Did you see? The rat has come for a nibble. You played your part to perfection, Adele. A woman of many talents, just as Thancred and Oriange described. Now, let us lure Wakessa out and spring our trap. Let us execute the final stage of our plan. I will set out towards Earthenshire alone and unarmed. The better to sell the act of a defenseless merchant, assuming Wakessa is watching. He will likely wait for some quiet stretch of the road before accosting me. I'll be relying on you to follow closely behind, remaining hidden until the time comes to spring the trap on our bandit king. Just remember, we need him alive. We'll get him. I hear business has been good to you, Master Merchant. How about you share some of the profits? And by some, I mean every coin you have. You're that gemstone collector. Oh, I see what this is. We've been tricked. Spit in your eye. Man, kill these withdrawal. Slippery vermin. We'll have to interrogate his underlings instead. If you be so kind, Adele, pray leave them capable of speech. I was hoping to talk with your boss, but I suppose you three will have to do. Wait, that's the second promise. What do you want with us? Think I'm scared of a fancy title? I'll take your royal ears as a trophy as soon as I get free of these ropes. I know your gang is behind my sister's abduction. Tell me where she is. Eat Paka shit, Salt Lover. You'll get not answers from us. That's right, we don't serve you. Do not play games with me. Where is Rook Lamont? I am fast losing patience. Talk now or die. The choice is yours. We were hired to nab the third promise, that's all. We don't know where they took her. Hired? By whom? We weren't told that either. Only Wakessa knows. He's the one who took the job. Well, it seems we needed their leader after all. Once I've arranged for the Landsguard to take custody of these criminals, I'll call on Thancred and his tracking skills, but perhaps you could pursue Wakessa in the meantime. The bandit was running in an easterly direction. Should you locate him, I suggest you shadow him rather than force a confrontation. He might lead us to where Lamachi is being held. Follow Wakessa from a distance. The objective will end in failure if you're noticed or fall too far behind. What was that? This was meant to be easy. be safe enough now. He did just meet him in front of the hideout. Where's that damn Hoobie go? Finally, my money. Give it to me now. The Landsguard may be hunting us already. Calm yourself. We had our own troubles finding a suitable hideaway. Right. We're finished. Take your prize and leave me out of the rest. Such hostility. You were hurting for coin, and I offered you gainful employment out of the kindness of my heart. Kindness? You brought a blackened tempest upon us. One look, and I can tell that woman was a killer, a butcher, a salted devil in the flesh. Oh, spare me your fearful bleeding. Go on, scamper away now before the scary mercenary comes to claim your head. Kawana told me the news. You found the abductor then? What's the situation? They're currently having a hideaway. Some shapely Hoobie goes there. Get the band to hire about this Hoobie go? Alright, new strategy. Forget Wakessa and stay on the Mamulja's tail. We don't want to endanger the third promise, so keep your distance until we're certain they have her. I'll catch up to you as soon as I'm able. Wait, what? Why?
Better late than never. That Marmulja. He's the one who kidnapped Wook Lamart. So we're still unsure. If we can follow him a bit longer, confirm his connection to the abductors. That will complicate matters.
Confound it!
If I set out now, I can trail them along the riverbank.
Do it!
Even if it costs you the contest.
What worth is the throne if I lose my sister to win it?
Very well then. I'll send word when I locate her. Till then, I suggest you save your strength. A rescue attempt could turn ugly.
That Hubigo just now. I swear I've seen him with Bakul Jaja. Knowing the way that monster works, he probably hired bandits to kidnap her so he could steal her keystones. But even alone, my sister is more than a match for a gang of untrained ruffians. She must have been ambushed or deceived. Gah! I should have been there! If those bastards have hurt her!
You need to calm down.
How can I be calm when... Forgive me. Snapping at you won't get my sister back. I'm afraid I've always been like this when it comes to Lamachi. The thought of her being in danger sends me into a panic. But isn't that how families should be? These days, Tural and Mikote live however they please. But the clan into which I was born kept to the nomadic traditions of our ancestors. They herded their own neck across the plains, always moving with the seasons. During one such migration, my birth parents left me behind. A child. All alone. Without a single word of explanation. A chance encounter with a kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stallkeeper in Tuliyolal's market. And that is where the Dawn servant found and adopted me. I had already been in the palace some time when Lamachi came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parent. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. So, as you might now understand, I will stop at nothing to rescue her. While we await word from Tancred, I suggest we prepare ourselves to travel downriver. You have a boat, yes?
We can use this one, but it got broken.
Why release the Panity if not to delay pursuit?
If we were unsure of their guilt before, then this surely proves it. Before we act, however, let us regroup with your comrades. Would you mind making the call?
Yeah, let's call him. We found potential whereabouts for Wuklamat and the band have been doing so.
Understood. We'll meet you at many fires.
I may have put rescuing Namachi ahead of my own progress, but do not take that to mean I've given up on the contest. You understand how important she is to me, yet regardless of how close we were, I would have made the same choice. After all, if I am incapable of saving my sister while also winning the throne, then I am not fit to inherit our father's heavy mantle. We need to gather our forces. Firstly, allow me to brief everyone on our present situation. Bakul hired bandits to kidnap Wuklamat. Thankfully in the pursuit. Thus, at the very least, we believe this Hubigo knows where Lamachi has taken. Thancred is shattering their bow even as we speak, and I should like to join him with all haste. Unfortunately, our quarry had the foresight to release your Penuity from its harness, leaving us without a means to get pursuit. Aaronville, as an expert on wildlife, what are our chances of recapturing the beast? With the right mix of feed, it can be done. I should like an extra hand to help scatter it about, however. Would you accompany him, Adele? I can. Meanwhile, the rest of us should work on getting the harness repaired. It appears to have been damaged when the Penuity was let loose. With all the peddlers here in camp, we should have little trouble purchasing replacement materials. As for any necessary metalwork, Earthenshire's artisans are but a short walk away. Then let us divide the tasks and have at it. There was an unusually aggressive herd of wild Penuities downriver, so our girl will have fled in the opposite direction. Come, we'll try the waters upriver. It does actually make a lot of sense that they would steal her keystones on top of the kidnapping. I don't really expect there to be any other reason why they would do that. Since Bakul just doesn't really give the impression that he's actually trying to vouch for the contest. Since he knows that you just need the stones to actually win. How you get it though is a different question. Assuming our Penuity has come this way, she'll be hiding in the depths of Marsh Ligaka. We'll need to lure her back to the shallows with the promise of food. Wild Penuities eat mainly aquatic grasses and plants, but the tame ones are often fed vegetable scraps. Knowing this, I added leftovers to the feed I prepared. This should help the mixture stand out against the marsh's natural scents. Ligaka is crawling with predators, however, so I'll leave it to you to scatter feed deeper in. I'll be waiting for you near the shallows with the rest of our Penuities' enticing feast. Let me know once you scatter the feed. Okay. Our plans are going to be set in motion. You scatter Erenville's Penuti feet along the water's edge. All set. I just finished laying at the last of the bait. Step back out of sight and leave the rest to me. Here she is. Shh. There's nothing to be afraid of. We just need your help one last time. You're hungry, I wager. Come on, come with me. Yes, there's a good girl. We'll be fine here, I think. I'll give her a few more treats, then lead her over to the boat. You can let Kawanda know we have our Penuti back. Nice one, Eren. Erenville has the Penuti in hand? Then good. I expected nothing less from a certified gleaner. As for the harness, we were able to purchase all the parts we need. The Levier twins are over in Earthenshire right now, having the Potsborn make the repairs. I'm told it shouldn't take long. We'll be ready to embark on our rescue mission as soon as we hear from Thancred. Thancred must know something by now. You found her? Understood. Thank you. I had but to invoke his name. Thancred followed the Hubigul's boat to its destination and confirmed they are indeed holding my sister captive. They, of course, being Bakul Jaja and his minions. I swear I'll make him regret this. Mamachi's in Richleaf tunnels. The moment the harness is repaired, we strap into Penuti and make our way back down Ihu Katumu.
Tancred.
The third promise is up ahead. She's unharmed, but we best not dally.
I spit on these pathetic feats. Far more satisfying to claim their baubles by force.
Give it back! Forzenten poured his everything into that stone. You've no right to touch it!
Oh, was that the name of your artisan? How could you allow something so precious to be stolen?
You thieving cheat! You're no true claimant!
What does that make the foolish kitty who fell into my trap? If pitiful roars were all it took to claim the throne, you'd be first in line.
Now, brother. You shouldn't tease her. Look, the poor thing's on the verge of tears. Meow. Someone save me. Who did that?
His scales are as thick as his skulls.
Coward! You dare ambush me?
Tis the blessed sibling's favorite tactic.
That useless Buddha was sick of it. He was supposed to keep the lackeys running in circles.
Oh, you must tell me all about that.
Careful now. You wouldn't want to hit her hostage.
That one's not to be underestimated.
They can do nothing while we have.
Impeccable timing.
Amachi, are you all right?
Aye, thanks to you.
These weaklings think they can defy us? We'll slaughter the lot of them!
Patience, brother. The keystone is ours. There is no need to fight this day. And Zoralja has left us hurting.
No! I won't stop until I gut these maggots and feed them their entrails!
If we fall here, we fail our siblings for nothing. Is that what you want?
No, brother. Break off! We retreat!
Wait! Damn you, Bakul Jaja!
Do we give chase?
We head back. Lamachi is safe. And that is what matters.
I'm glad to see you unharmed, Lamachi. Thanks again for coming to my rescue, Koana. And all of you too. Pakul Jaja must be desperate indeed to resort to such aggressive tactics. I shouldn't have been so careless. I underestimated him and it cost me a keystone. Fontaine upended his life so that I could accomplish the Malbin's feat. He believed in me, believed in my cause, and I've let him down. We won't let Pakul Jaja get away with this. You're goddamn right about that. The next time I meet that brute, I'll knock him straight on his scaly behind and take back my keystone. Speaking of vengeance, didn't Pakul Jaja curse some useless Bunewa sycophant when he caught sight of us? A reference to Serelja, I would assume. He is devoted to our brother, and is the only Bunewa I know of participating in the rite of succession. If Serelja was somehow involved in this, I will never forgive him for putting our sister in danger. He will have forfeited his right to be called brother. Ahem. Pakul Jaja should face punishment, of course, but so must the bandits who had the temerity to abduct Lamachi. I shall request that Father send a contingent of Landsguard to enforce the law in this region. I agree that measures need to be taken to keep travelers safe. But I wonder what pushed these people towards a life of banditry in the first place. If we dig deeper, we might find a way to improve things for everyone. Tis something to think about. For now, however, the rite continues. I thank you all for your help. We should be moving on as well. Are you feeling fit for travel, Wuklamat? You bet I am. Zoraj has gained a good head start, and it's time we clawed back some lost ground. I really am sorry this happened. From now on, I won't let my guard down around suspicious strangers. And again, I do appreciate you all coming to save me. And that does it for Chapter 2, Part 1. Tune in next time we check out Chapter 2, Part 2. Thank you for watching, and take care.